ASR chassis. So basically it's an ASR Pro with a cubic QS210 motion system with a cubic BT1 belt tensioner. I've coupled it with an awesome set of LG ultra wides. What you've seen before, these are the new brackets that I've made for the cubic.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into Infinity Broadcasting, and welcome into the SIMRIGS V8 Veterans Split 2 action for Season 28 as we roll on to Round 3 this evening to Shell V-Power Motorsports Park out at Tailem Bend. Hamish Munro here with you with Brett Fisher alongside. Brett, it's exciting now. We move away from the tram stop that was Mexico City last week as a representation of Albert Park to Tailem Bend, the youngest circuit on the iRacing calendar prior to this season. Brett, do you know what the youngest circuit in the iRacing calendar is now? The most freshly built iRacing circuit for road course racing is?
Hamish, I would not have a clue.
Well, it's the track we preview the whole season leading into the broadcast. The Qualcomm circuit out of San Diego is the youngest road course in the iRacing service, available in the iRacing service.
I'm a bit of a Dago.
I want to welcome you all in as well, watching across both channels. We've got simulcast happening across Infinity Broadcasting and, of course, the V8 Veterans YouTube channels as well. We want to give a quick shout out, of course, to the series sponsors that have helped bring you the show throughout not only the start of this season, but the last 10 or more seasons as well that we've been here. This is my 15th season now, so the last 15 seasons, but specifically, of course, to SIMRIGS, the title sponsors of the series, Logitech G, Padmoto, Suzuki, Play One, Sim Gear, Project Fade, Streetwear, LGC Images, and M1 Used Cars for their Driver of the Day award. We'll see who'll win that award this evening here for Tailem Bend. We are running what was previously used by the Supercar Series, the international layout here this evening. They've actually now moved to the West Circuit for this year's Bend 500 coming up later on, or only a few months' time, actually, Brett. So we're not actually too far away from endurance season for Supercars racing. But yes, this being the previous circuit and layout that was used by Supercars, we've run it multiple times before now, and this track is quickly becoming a favourite of the Vets field and quickly becoming a mainstay of the Vets calendar, it seems.
Oh, was that a question?
Oh.
Because I'm only a young pup.
A statement?
I'm only a young pup.
A statement?
I've only had 3 seasons, wasn't it? 3 seasons?
Of what? 3 seasons of what?
Calling.
You've been here for 5 seasons, Brett. This is your 6th season
Jesus.
now.
That's how bad my memory is.
You've been here since season 23. I've been here since season 14. that's how fast time flies when you're having fun in the booth. But as we said,
that's right.
We're here tonight, of course, for Tailem Bend. Having a quick look at where we are in the season. Of course, 200 kilometres tonight, 41 laps. This is the first of 2 times we'll be here at Tailem Bend this season. At the second half of the season, we'll be racing at the long GT layout over 7 kilometres, a 3-minute lap time to come when we do 26 laps the next time we roll around here to Tailem Bend. Exciting few weeks coming up, of course. Winton next week for the sprint round, and then Phillip Island will end out the first half of the season as well.
But Winton, how good's Winton going to be with a new little nuance to that?
Fantastic.
Same nuance.
I love Winton. Winton's one of my heartfelt circuits. I have taken a win there on iRacing, which I'm very proud about in the Little Legends cars before they even made it the road variants. But looking at the championship standings at this stage, after last week's incredible race at Mexico City, Stephen Kokoschke currently sits 2 for 2 in podium finishes, the only driver to remain on the podium in both rounds. He sits top at 363 points ahead of Stuart Hall of Infinity Motorsport in P2 on 345 points. Scott McKenzie sneaks in behind on 337, just ahead of James Boardman in P4 on 336 points. Paul Burns then makes up the top 5 before we get into a run of 3 drivers on the exact same points, 315 points for Matt Day, Darryl Callahan and Scott Weston, who are all tied up on points at the moment inside of the top 10. Ben Brook, Rick Viger make up that top 10. We then have another set of 3 further down the order on 278 points for Tim Mulford, Brett Taylor and Abel Verben as well. We will have some storylines to talk about throughout the night, of course. Not only what's going to happen throughout tonight's race, what could be leading forward in through the next few weeks as well, but also a very important team change for a lot of drivers in the field, and it actually has got quite a big effect on this split 2 field as well, but we'll talk about that more later on in the show. Let's have a quick look at the track map here for Shell V-Power Motorsports Park in the Bend. Of course, Tailem Bend is where this is based, and many people said it was a tax write-off for this racing circuit, but ultimately you can't write off how good the racing has been over the last few years.
See the little dinosaur leg on the other side of Adelaide?
Yes, I did.
Sorry, go. Yeah. Keep on going, Hamish.
Well, as we roll on in to this wonderful motorsports complex, we see the international circuit in all of its glory. And there you see the red part on the other side. That's the extended portion that we'll be running later on in the season. But tonight we're running the 4.9 kilometre, 3 mile, 18 corner circuit that was opened back on the 13th of January 2019. We started on the main straight up towards the hard braking zone of turn 1, which has already been a firing line the last few times we've driven here for some early incidents in the race, including as well through turn 2, 3 and 4, up through 5 and into the hairpin at turn 6. This first sector can be quite difficult and challenging for drivers to get their heads around. Then you run up through the long quad right-hander of 7, 8, 9 in turn 10, into the sweeper at turn 11 and turn 12, down to turn 13, and then up to the hard braking zone of 14, where we see a lot of audacious moves come about from drivers. Can either make it work or they can overextend into the sand and the grass, down through 15 and 16, up towards the second to last corner of 17, and around the final corner at turn 18 as well. It is a fantastic circuit here, Brett, for Tailem Bend, and there are a couple of key areas, it must be said, that can lead to difficulties tonight for these drivers, namely turn 1, 2, 3 and 4, turn 6, through turn 11 and 12, up at 14, and then the run through 17 as well, where we often see drivers...
that's nearly the whole track.
Where we often see drivers blowing engines later in the race.
That's a lot of the majority of the track. It looks like a floppy chop.
Yeah, a little bit. It looks like a half-eaten pork chop almost. That you're taking some bites out of it, and that's all that's left. But I mean, it's
for the race tonight, round 3. I think round 3 is where you start to see things unfolding. You know, you start to see things are happening, things are shaking and moving. You know, you see some of the guys. Things are starting to sort of happen, and the season's starting to pan out, and you can see what's happening. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, pit lane's going to be a major factor tonight as well. One of the slowest pit lanes on the whole calendar, 40 kilometres per hour. It's a very short run into pit lane as well. Only a few tens of metres on the entry to pit lane from the exit off track. That could be a major issue tonight, where drivers could end up making contact in the pit lane. Some could maybe get black flags off the back of that as well. Pit exit is a little bit hairy because you return to circuit right on the racing line. It is on the onus of the drivers coming down the straight to make sure that they are aware of drivers coming out of pit lane, and they take avoidance when approaching that exit area, just in case they might make contact with someone.
At least you can see the cars though, like, because the cars come onto the track and the guys going down the straight, you can see them there. So that's not too bad. When you come out of turn 18 to go into the pits, holy biscuits of cheese, you have to sort of, like, you're going flat out around 18, and then you got to dart in, hit the brakes, and hopefully you get the car pulled up in time to get into that 40k an hour speed limit, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, it's a great circuit to give us some amazing racing over the years, and it's one that will give us, I'm sure, a whole heap of great racing here tonight as well out at Tailem Bend once again. As we load on in, qualifying has just been completed for the drivers out there, and their warm-up session is about to begin, but the starting grid for tonight's race will be as follows. Shad Weigel will start on pole position alongside Tony Chapman for an all-Mustang front row of the grid to row 2. We then find ourselves with Stephen Kokoschke, the championship leader. He's 2 from 2 on podiums here this season. There's a poll running at the moment to determine, will he get a 3 from 3 here tonight. Currently, 86% of the chat out of the 14 votes think he will. 14% think he won't. He'll start alongside last season's Split 3 champion Matthew Day out of P4, who took home the race win last week in an incredible effort out at Mexico City.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you, Hamish, tonight. I'm sorry, because you do get on a flow, so I'll keep this short, and I've made it long because that's that. Anyway, Matty Day, holy hell! Like, hasn't he launched himself into Split 2?
He has. I mean, first round at Bathurst, he struggled, but last week at Mexico City was a breakout for him. Tonight could be another breakout for him here as well out at Tailem Bend. We'll see how he does off the second row. To row 3, we find Mick Clifton and Stuart Hall, P2 in the championship, starting not too far behind the leader of the championship. Could be some good pressure between those guys here tonight. Mick Clifton's had some decent pace across the first few rounds as well. We'll see if he can make up for that here tonight at Tailem Bend and get himself a result once again. Row 4, in the top 8, it's Paul Burns and Craig Friend starting alongside each other. And then the top 10 on row 5, Steve Grumley will start his first race of the season and start his first race in over 12 races here in Split 2. We look forward to seeing how he does in his first outing for Season 28 alongside Lorne Mackay out of P10. To row 6 in behind them, it's then Andrew Listener of SCR alongside Joe Mahoney, and a great qualifying from him. He's been working on his race starts this week as Joe. See if that can pay off for him tonight in a decent result. Poor running the first 2 rounds. Could be a good little rocket ship for him to firework himself up the order tonight and maybe reinvigorate his championship hopes of getting a good and decent finish this season. Championship win maybe a little bit gone from him at this stage, although it is early days, but he could maybe still get himself a decent result here this season. Row 7 of the top 14, it's then Simon Heddersheet and Tim Mulford starting alongside each other to row 8. In the top 16, Craig Miller will start alongside Ben Brook out there for Frog Leap Juice Racing. Row 9 in the top 18, we find Scotty McKenzie and Adrian Zeal in his best qualifying for the season of Team AJR. He'll start out of P18. Row 10 in the top 20, it's then Peter Kelleher of Synergy Sim Racing, who had a massive merger earlier this week, of course, with those drivers that left the folding 9-5 Sim Sports, including the likes of Sean McNamara and Logan Barnett up in Split 1. But Peter will be hoping to maybe help out his teammate Stephen here tonight, maybe get himself another podium. Abel Verben will then start alongside him for the top 20. Row 11 in behind them, it is Roy Clark starting ahead of Darren Crosby in his first race of the season. Good to see Darren back out there for M1 Racing. Nice. Row 12 in the top 24, it's Scott Weston and Wade Reynolds starting ahead of the 13th row of Matt Monday and Christopher Blanchard, who starts his second race of the season. Good run at Mexico City for Chris. He'll be happy to back that up here tonight, but a poor qualifying. We'll see him with work to do in this one to make his way up the order towards the top 10. Row 14, it's then Rick Viger, Yusuf Corfiadis. Head of the 15th row of the grid in the top 30 of Brett Fisher and Brett Taylor. The battle of the Bretts is happening on the 15th row of the grid. What? Couldn't have lined it up better, could we? This is going to be a spectacular one to watch.
What am I doing way down there, though? Holy.
Come on, Brett. Could have qualified better than that. Come on.
Oh, no. Well, yeah, anyway, let's keep going. Go on.
Row 16, we find Darren Goosey and Derek Lovegrove alongside each other to row 17 with Ernie Toth and Jamie Peters alongside. To row 18 and behind them, it's Darryl Callahan and Andrew Galley starting ahead of row 19 with Matt Scholes and Todd Duggan alongside each other at the rear end of the field as well. In behind them in row 20, it'll be Jeremy Bush. Then to our race controllers back there as well. I don't believe we have any other runners. We do. It is Dave Arney in the final qualifying position. That's where he landed his helicopter at the end of qualifying for Dave Arney. We've got a little less than a minute left in the warm-up session. Great to have you all watching along in the chat with us, though, here tonight as well. And appreciate you guys getting into the vote on the poll, too. Be sure to stick around and vote in the poll at the end of the night for the Driver of the Day award. We're doing the Driver of the Day with the built-in poll system now. Not only to save time, but to save me having to do maths. I don't want to have to do maths. I want to let electronics and the program do it for me. So,
well, thank God I don't have to do maths. I tell you, we'd all be in trouble if I had to do the bloody maths. I tell you that right now.
With all of you watching out there, though, of course, Brett was out there firing up the punters earlier on. Luke Ullman's with us, Cam77 as well. DeRose is out there, Tony Chapman too, Wayne Sanderson in the chat with us as well, Gary Buckler, Nathan Favero, Logan Barnett as well. Great to have you out there, Logan, watching along. Sean Palmer's watching with us, back in Ukraine with 123 friends with him. Hope you guys are staying safe out there as well. Brett Horsell watching along, Peter Kelleher too, Stephen Kokoschke in the chat, Ernie Toth's out there as well. Dave Arney lands the chopper in the chat with us, Andrew Hoffman in the chat as well. As Andrew Listener watching along too. So great to have you all watching along. Mick Clifton's just joined us as well. Thank you all so much for joining us here this evening once again. As we line up for the start grid here tonight, let's see how drivers are going to do out at Tailem Bend. Tony Chapman has not had the run that he would ever hope for starting on the front row of the grid, Brett, in his last few attempts.
No, he wants to put it up there.
Can he finally break away the demons? I know Tony puts a lot of laps in practice across the week to get the pace up. It gets him qualifying results, but he hasn't managed to maximise the race starts. We want to see him maximise them. Come on. You get the qualifying together, Tony. We've got to see you start the race just as strong.
And same, like, you look at the names in that pack, and I think if they said it last week, that, you know, you look at some of those names, you go, wow, look where they've qualified further down the back, mid-pack. And same again, I guess it's because the split is so tight that some of the names you might expect to be further up are actually buried in the pack, you know. Qualifying's important. Qualifying gets you out in front of the mess sometimes, you know. So, yeah.
It's very, very important. And it's probably going to be very important tonight because it is going to be very, very messy off this start line and through the first sector. We've already seen some messiness across the other three splits namely on the main straight in quite a few of them, but also up through turn 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we've got to try and get through there as clean as possible. It's very hectic. Drivers go for moves early because they know that they haven't got a whole lot of time before the field begins to spread. This can be a very difficult track to pass at, Brett, because it's very easy to defend. It's easy to attack, but it's also easy to defend. So it's one that leads to great on-track battling, but stressful battling for those drivers that are out there. And the undercut tonight, because of that, is going to be very, very strong.
And I think the other thing too is that off the start, like everyone's got a slightly different, method of starting. So some guys get away cleanly, some guys don't, and then that adrenaline builds up. Oh, I'm sort of passing a few cars here, and then, you forget where your braking marker is, and all shit goes to south. Yeah,
it all happens at the wrong time for them. There is Chad Weiger, the pole sitter here tonight. Good pace. There's questions that he was actually driving the car in practice on Thursday night. But no, he definitely was. Definitely was. He put that car on pole position. Stephen Koshi asking, can split 2 go no safety car? Well, we have previously here at this circuit, or the last time we did get a safety car, which is where we had a safety car restart debacle for the leader of that race. That was James Boardman on that day. He ended up getting himself a drive-through for not restarting the race correctly because the safety car was not actually in pit lane yet. He actually jumped the start. On that occasion. Yeah. So we'll see how they do off this race start. It's going to be an intense one for sure. You've got to try and maximize this as best you can. And see where you can put yourself at the end of lap number 1. Weiger on pole, Chapman alongside. Who's going to reap the benefits of Tailem Bend as Shell V-Power Motorsports Park is underway, and Stuart Hall has not started. That car has had a massive failure on the start, and he's trying to scramble off the start line here. Hall's trying to get somewhere. Look at that contact though. Seal straight in the wall alongside with Craig Friend. That is a very early incident on the main straight. That car is destroyed of Team AJR. It's still rolling. That could be a very early safety car if they cannot get that thing back to pit lane.
Tell you what, I actually had a re-look at that start later on. Oh, that sideways there was that Chapman? He hasn't had a good one. Down to 6 Chapman. Already, 4, 5 spots.
That was Chapman. And now contact as well with Lon Mackay up towards turn 6. Mackay hard in the wall. Very early manoeuvres happening here that have gone south for a lot of drivers. And the wars have already come so early here as the scramble for position continues, but the drivers at the front of Weiger, Kokoschki, Day and Clifton, they've broken away cleanly, as is Burns. Grumley with a hot start already up 3, Listener up 4 into the top 10, Heddersheet up 5, Miller up 6, Mahoney up 2 into the top 10. But what a horrid race start it was for Stuart Hall. That backed up the field, and then that has caused a whole heap of chaos off the start line.
I tell you what, Tony Chapman needs to kick a black cat, dack a Chinese man and smash some really expensive plates before he starts every race, I reckon, because that's a shocker. That's unfortunate because he does all that hard work in qualifying and then, anyway, on we go. So we've got, as you said, Chad Weiger out in front of me. Stephen Kokoschki, he'd be wrapped because he's up 1 spot now. Who's this going slow?
That's Lon Mackay again off the track, so not the start that he would have wanted here as Darren Crosby in his first outing for the season is off the road as well.
There we go.
So off the road he is and rejoins once again.
This is crazy stuff here at the bend. Funny of that.
Absolutely
crazy. We're all going around the bend.
Absolutely crazy. Top 35 cars on your screen, of course, for the timing tower as well. We've got 40 cars in the race tonight, so we'll check out the bottom 5 at some point as well to see how they're going. Chad Weiger leads the way, though, after starting on pole. Kokoschki and everyone else in behind him, all the way down to Peter Kelleher, who's battling away door-to-door here with Yusuf Corfiadis. Everyone now, down to Darren Crosby, is in the positives. They're all up 1 or more positions. Crosby's the only one who's on a negative, and he's in a tight battle here with Brett Fisher, who's pushing forward for his 6th position gain of the race. Unbelievable race start here for yourself, Brett.
Go me.
It's one of my favourite bits. It's so good.
Yeah. So in position 7, Andrew Listener's up 4 spots. Stephen Grumley up 3 spots and 6. Simon Heddersheet up 5. Craig Miller up 6 spots. Joe Mahoney 2. Tim Mulford up 3. Scott McKenzie up 5. Roy Clark up 8 spots too. So there, and Yusuf Korfidis up 10 spots. So
And-
there's been some pretty big gains throughout this.
Big name you mentioned there, Roy Clark. What a horrid run he had last week at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Absolutely horrendous. Tonight, though, has gotten a race start, and hopefully the start of the race that could lead to a much better result than what he had last week, up 8 positions down to P13. As you said, that's a great result off the start line for him. Hopefully, he continues on throughout the rest of this race.
Blanchard just dropping a little bit there. Yeah, Blanchard, same again. He's dropped further back. Crosby got past myself there. So we've got a bit of argy going on here.
It's a tightening pack here.
Was
There you
pretty
see
intense in
Matt Scholes as well, just got the up 11 positions now,
Yeah.
trying to get past Stuart Hall, who is already down 21 positions after putting the car in neutral on the start line, down from 6th place. Not the race start that he wanted. We may see him coming to pit lane here as Scholes catches a bit of sand. We might see Hall come in here just to try and get out of the pack, get out of the drama, and maybe, just maybe, get himself into some clean air as he comes into pit lane now. Although Peters is coming in, holding behind him. That's contact on the rear of Hall's car, and that's giving him a black flag. The start for Hall's race that he could have wanted is out the door, out the window, and flown away.
Wow, some bad luck, hard luck stories so far in this race, and we're only on lap 3 of 41. Unbelievable. I'll tell you what, it was pretty intense early on in this race. We, the first few laps just under fire from cars moving forward. Obviously, some cars out of position, trying to make up some lost ground and things like that, but it was pretty intense. I myself wasn't I don't know what other people were feeling, chuckling in the chat, but I found that, geez, it was like driving on sand, or like she was loose as a goose, and it was pretty hard to control a car sometimes. Just didn't really gel with it this week.
I tell you what,
opposed to last week, I enjoyed it.
If this is an indication of what tonight's race is going to be, it could be pure carnage. As Dave Arney has pulled off at the end of turn 6, and that car's back in pit lane, and I think that could be a technical issue for that car. That might be Arnie out of the race before we even know it. Unbelievable.
He's gone back to the chopper.
He has gone back to the chopper as Craig Miller continues to try and chase down Scott Weston here with Abel Verbinnen behind him. This is a tight little mid-pack battle we're seeing here at just outside of the top 10, but there's battles everywhere.
There is battles absolutely everywhere. There's some intense battles going on up and down this tree. As you can see, on the timing tower, the colour of yellow and orange. Obviously, they are with under a second. I think orange is under half a second, so it's easy to follow along there.
You can see as
on
well.
The back of Chad Weiger, he's been doing well.
He has consistent lap times for him, but Kokoschki more consistently faster than Chad Weiger over the last few laps. So for Weiger, he is struggling in the race lead. Kokoschki in his home race tonight is running very, very strong as the championship leader.
Yeah, he's been strong in practice all week. The times that I've seen his times out there. I've seen times. Too many times in that, I think. I might revise that. Go back in time and change it. Chad looking very defensive there. Kokoschki looking hot on his heels.
Putting all sorts of pressure on him.
Day's starting to come under pressure from Clifton as well. But Day, wonder whether he's just hanging back there, knowing the fact that Kokoschki is actually having a fairly big dip at Chad there. On lap 4 of 41 here at the Bend. Round 3 of the V8 Veterans.
You can just see as well, Brett, just how tight this battling is, but they've actually started to break away. So Andrew Listener, who's actually the front car in that pack that's in behind them. What an improvement Andrew Lister's made, by the way. Consistently last year, around about P20 was his average finish in his first season in Split 2. And now this season as well, starting to blossom and could finally get another breakaway performance here with a top 10 on the line here tonight at Tailem Bend for round 3 of the season. Could be a great finish for him and for SCR as the only representative in Split 2 this season. Had some issues as well, I've noticed too. So we noticed that Adrian Zeal had an issue obviously on the main straight. He actually had disconnected from the session, but he's finally back out there and rolling again.
Yeah, okay.
A lap down on the field, so it could be a long night on for Adrian Zeal if we don't get a safety car that might get him back into things and back on the lead lap.
Keep punching Zippy. You get some points on the board. You get to classification. And look at this pack, front pack now. It's got 4 drivers sort of in there. And I'll tell you what, 124, Paul Burns, not that far away either. And Grumley following closely behind as well. So won't be long and those guys are up. Skulls in.
Yep, so Matt Skulls, the two-time champion, into pit lane after his poor qualifying, found him starting further back in the field tonight. There you see, that's where Stuart Hall's come out, by the way, just ahead of the race leaders. And a risk of going a lap down, although Viger with a lock-up into turn 6. That is not going to help him. Kokoschki, though, didn't want to try and put too much risk on it. And we could be starting to see the flourishing signs of the new Stephen Kokoschki this season. Because I almost guarantee you, Brett, if this was 10 rounds ago, this time last season, he would have dipped it up the inside and possibly risked contact with Chad there. He's racing very smart this evening, very patient. He knows there's a long, long way to go here at the Bend for round 3 this evening.
Yeah, we have talked about it before. Are we going to see the Kokoschki sort of... He did have some brilliance of last season, as we talked about before, but then a couple of times the wheels fell off and things went wayward. Let's see how he goes. I mean, he's having a great run so far, and he's probably in the box seat, obviously. He's just able to sit there and see what Chad's doing. He probably knows he's got a bit more pace than Chad at this stage. Let's see if he can make a clean pass, or is he just going to try and do it in the pits?
He might try and do it in the pits. We know how good Kokoschki is at his top end, right? Most race wins last season with 3. We said at the start of the season that we thought if he puts a complete season together, he is going to be the favourite for the championship. And he's proven that in the first 2 rounds, and he's proving that to this point tonight, right? He's on track for that 3rd podium in a row to start out his season. Unbelievable result if he is able to do that. And we'd have to go back in time to check the stats on what is the most podium finishes to start out a driver's season. To point out the last historic one that I recall, Logan Barnett's record-breaking season with 7 race wins. He had 3 podium finishes to start out his season. The 4th round, which was at the Nürburgring that season, he actually failed to finish on the podium, and it was his worst finish of that season. As Miller comes in and Toth comes in, we'll see how low they drop here in their initial point here. So the critical lap tonight for your safety cars, depending on your fuel window, right? Critical lap for fuel to get home between lap 7 and lap 8. So some of these drivers are coming in knowing the undercut's going to be strong today, and they're betting for a safety car. They're not banking on a safety car necessarily, but they're betting for one. Because if they get the bet correct, they're going to be in a great position because then they only need 1 stop to get home. If they don't get a safety car, they're still okay. They'll reap the benefit of an undercut here over those cars that stay out a little bit too long.
Matty Day, Clifton and Day just hanging with these guys up front. And it just looks like Day's just casually just sitting there, biding his time. I mean, he's so far had a cracker of a season. Simon Heddersheed off track. Dropping 2 spots, dropping 3 spots.
He's not off track right now. He's just battling
just getting
with
past.
Clark.
Yep.
Last 2 laps, Clifton's been faster than Day. Previous 2 to that, Day was actually the faster driver. As Scott Weston goes wide down there, puts a bit of struggle on himself. Matt Monday will get past. And Scotty Weston
had some great results too, but he's, he
had the podium in round 1, finishing up but close to podium in round 1, top 5 finish. Last week didn't quite get there. Can he maybe do something here tonight that gets him up the order once again?
So our leader, Chad Viger, doing a 154.511. Look at Day and Clifton doing a 154.1, so considerably faster. Matty Monday in pits.
Yeah, so Matt Monday in, and a lot of these drivers will be hoping for a safety car fairly soon, including those that have already pitted, because all of a sudden their race is completely flipped on its head. They're back in the game in terms of a race win opportunity. But the issue comes then, if we don't get one in the next sort of 5 laps, the rest of the field's going to come in, and all of a sudden they're going to be dead in the water as Viger is struggling down at turn 6. Kokoschki is strong here tonight. That car looks very, very pacey on the back of the 016 Angry Birds Kumo Tyres entry. The Sud Speed car of Stephen Kokoschki, it's got some super speed here tonight in P2, and it looks super, super neat.
It's got suds of speed. Kokoschki ran a little bit wide there, obviously, taking, whether it was taking evasive action or just trying to get a different angle on Chad then, but Dave nearly got up the inside of Kokoschki, so that could have been very interesting if that was side by side for a couple of seconds. Further in the pack, we've got Mahoney in 8th spot, Tim Mulford in 9th, Clark in 10th. Great little battle there. So Mulford champing on the back of Mahoney. And then where are we now? We're at Reynolds.
With Kelleher, Crosby behind him as well. This is Darren Crosby's first race of the season. Good to see Darren back out there. M1 Racing, of course. The owner-operator of M1 Used Cars is Darren Crosby. He doesn't end up
big
in the used
dive,
car
big
after
dive.
tonight as Reynolds looks for the inside on Kelleher. He gives him a bit of a door down at turn 13.
Crosby says, I'll have a bit of this action as well.
Apologise.
And
turn
yep,
17.
and makes
Kokoschki, by the way, big pit stop here. Kokoschki, Day, Burns, Verban, and
Day
Viger,
Burns, yep.
all in pit lane. That being Rick. Kelleher's in as well. Chad Viger's continued on now with no pressure in behind. Tim Mulford, though, is pressuring Joe Mahoney for P6 on the road through the first through the first sector.
Well, a lot of shakers and movers. Lap 8 of 41 here at the Bend. This is the first time we visit the Bend this season. We're going to visit again later on this series, and probably quite concerned about getting lost there myself when we go to the larger format of track. Might have to start practicing that earlier than what most of the times I do, just to get my head around it. As you get older, you forget things fairly quickly. You still there, Hamish?
I'm still here. I was writing a poll.
Oh, that's right.
Thought it was very
That's
apropos
okay.
to get
That's
another
all right.
poll going.
I thought, oh crap,
Yeah,
I've
the
got to
chat.
do this whole thing by
Nah,
myself.
no,
That's
no,
gonna
you're
get
fine.
boring. That's going to get boring after a while for everyone.
I don't know how much ginger we could talk about, Brett, before it gets boring.
Ginger.
How much, maybe that was probably the real poll question I should put out there. How much ginger do we have to talk about for it to get boring? I think 0. I think, you can say as much ginger as you like, it'll never get boring, I think. But as we see as well, Crosby still battling here now with Reynolds. They've got Lorne Mackay behind them, the lap traffic car behind as well. The field has spread out just a little bit here at this stage of the races. The race leader's in. Chad Viger comes into pit lane, releases Mick Clifton, who now gets a bonus point for leading a lap. And Mick Clifton looks to be on fire tonight. This Accelerate Sim Racing car could be on for quite a significant result if Clifton can put the pieces together. Header sheet in as well. Yep, so a couple of cars into the pit lane. Crosby's joined them as well. We'll see where they all end up at the end of this stop cycle. Todd Duggan is still running strong. Good to see Todd still running at the moment as well. He's had an absolutely heartbreaking first 2 rounds of technical difficulties. Hopefully for Todd, he can make the checkered flag here tonight and finally score some points this season.
I was going to say, Kafutis having a great battle there with Weston.
What else? What I've also noticed, too, I'm looking down, the poll's actually shooting back and forth here. I think the crowd's very indecisive on if they would get lost at the GT layout of the Bend. Get the votes out there, guys. And there's 39 of you watching along. We want to see 39 votes on the poll, of course. Get involved.
I want to see.
I want to see.
If I can talk,
Yeah.
I want to see. I want to see 39 likes too.
So
on the,
Kokoschki,
on the
by
like
the way,
button.
has come out of pit lane with a 32.6 second stop. So his stop was about 12 seconds slower than Chad Viger. There's an important piece of this, though. He has gained 2 seconds on him by undercutting him. The gap is 10.2 seconds separating Stephen Kokoschki and Chad Viger. That means on paper right now, when we get to the second stop spread, Stephen Kokoschki should be the race leader.
Yeah, well, there you go. It's all happening. It's all coming coming into his hands at the moment. Kokoschki. See when we start and normalise our everyone going and getting their pits done. On the back of Todd Duggan at the moment. Brett Taylor having a good old look there.
And Mick Clifton in, so he gives the race lead to Steve Grumley. His first race first race since Bathurst of last season. Could it be his first point-scoring race in more than a season? He didn't score points last season at Bathurst. Mr. Grumley hoping to score something tonight as Brett Taylor looks at the move here on Todd Duggan. down towards turn 1. Duggan trying to cover though because they had an Exeter of pit lane in Jeremy Bush. That's running wide. Taylor comes through. There's still 3-1. Massive net code. Massive net code from Bush's car to Galley's. That is heartbreak for Andrew Galley, who is running so strong to this point.
Andrew can't take a break at the moment either. Poor
And
bloke.
I tell you what, Brett, the net code was about the width of a bus between himself and Jeremy Bush.
Yeah.
And that is heartbreak.
Unfortunate.
We've gotten 14 votes again, Brett.
Oh,
this time, though,
50-50.
it was 50-50. So 7 people think they'll get lost at the GT circuit. 7 think they won't. I want to know the 7 that think they won't because I want to see if they do actually get lost when we go there. Kikoshi,
I'm just going to follow someone. If they get it wrong, I'll get it wrong.
Stephen Kikoshi, fastest lap of the race last time by the way, 1:53.21 was his last lap on the circuit as Simon Heddersheed gets past Ben Brook out of pit lane. Darren Crosby now battling as well here with Chris Blanchard just ahead of them. So this little 4-car pack is continuing on. Lap 10 of 41. We're a quarter of the way through as Brook has locked it up through there. Crosby's gotten past. Seems a little bit messy though between these drivers here tonight, Brett, and that could start to cost them.
Yeah. Corfitas on Western. He's been on Western for a number of laps, and he's still there. So these boys having a really good old dice. I've seen a couple of times there that the numbers got down to within 0.1, 0.2 of a second. As Grumley in pit lane.
Yep. So Grumley enters. That now gives the race lead to SCR's Andrew Listner.
Here we go. Corfitas having a little bit of a look. Pokes the nose out.
If he leads at the end of the lap, will get himself a bonus point for leading a lap here, will Mr. Listner. So that little bonus point can be helpful later on. As pit lane is still firing on forward. We're probably around about a lap away from the extent of the fuel window. There is Andrew Listner in the race lead. What's happened to Blanchard's pace? I don't know if he just really gels well with the bend, maybe, necessarily. It is a tough track to gel with, it must be said. It's, you know, it's not an easy one. Very easily can you struggle around here. It can feel like multiple different tracks in one, and it may just be that it doesn't suit Chris's style. It could also be as well that Chris maybe just didn't get the practice that he needed this week to feel comfortable around here as well.
I don't know about it for everybody else, but I'd say I found last week at Mexico, I was dialed in. I felt really good. The car felt good. I felt like I could do something with the car. Around here, no idea. Absolutely no idea what was going on. Oh, big dive. Here we go. That was...
Header sheet on Blanchard. Header sheet's now got mime at turn 1.
Yeah.
And a good little move.
That was a big dive.
To confirm, Stephen, I have no idea if you had the fastest lap in the first 3 races of this. Oh, if you have fast lap in the last 2. And if you also get it tonight, I'm not sure. You'd have to... I don't even know how you'd actually check it, Brett. Surely you'd have to go find you'd have to go find the iRacing results of the first 2 rounds to figure it out. But definitely something to track along in the future. Listener now in. Roy Clark pushes on. He will lead himself a lap. I'll get him a bonus point as well. And unfortunately for Listener, he'll actually miss out on the bonus point because he actually didn't cross the line in the race lead at the end of the lap. So he doesn't get the bonus point. Corfitas now in as well. That'll promote a couple more drivers. Chad Viger, though, is in the corrected race lead at this stage. He sits about 2.5 seconds ahead of Matthew Day in P2 with Paul Burns in P3 at the moment. But how will things change when we get to the second pit stop later in the race? That is going to be a crucial one. And I think one thing we should speak about as well, Brett, next week, Winton Motorsports Park, the sprint round, pit strategy. Well, it's going to be a little bit out the window because it's a 30-minute race and a 45-minute race. You're only going to need 1 stop to get home in both of them more than likely. But in race 1, if you get enough safety cars, you can do the whole race without it even having to come down pit lane.
Are the SIMRIGs out for that yet?
They released them the other day, but they released the wrong file.
Oh, here we go. 3 wide on the exit.
Oh, here we go. Lister exits pit lane in behind Mackenzie. Grumley gets past Kokoschki here. And now push on forward. The SIMRIGs are not out for Winton, by the way, so we're not 100% sure how it's actually going to work.
Yeah. So we'll find out. Make sure you read the SIMRIGs too. Sometimes in there's a little bit of a sneaky little thing you've just got to keep your eye on. So make sure you do that.
Well, what we see here as well, so an important marker to think about here. So Grumley's gotten past Kokoschki, but Grumley has taken a 6-second faster stop in the first run through pit lane. So still on the board, Kokoschki will be ahead of Grumley after the next pit stop if all things stay square. And what it will mean is he'll actually have a 6-second advantage over him when they exit pit lane. So Grumley actually gave up quite a lot of time running long in that first stint compared to those that undercut him and put the fresh tyres on board their cars.
Yeah, don't pay the ferryman.
He might have pace now, but is it going to last him throughout? Clark, Weston, Goosey, Taylor,
Juicy, yep.
and Galley should all come in. This is the extent of the fuel tank and the fuel window here tonight, as we'll watch Andrew Galley come around, and he'll come into pit lane. So Chad Viger will retake the race lead. Starting on pole here this evening, and Viger has become a man who often seems to be strong at round 3 of a season. If you think back to season 26, Watkins Glen, 3rd round of the season, and Viger took a very memorable race win on that day. Could happen again tonight here at Tailem Bend. Time will tell, though, as he has a chasing, fast-paced Stephen Kokoschki trying to run down that gap of what is now out past 12 seconds. So Chad Viger is doing everything he can to extend the gap to keep the car in the race lead off the exit of pit lane the next time by.
Lap 13 of 41, so still plenty of laps to go, and got another cycling of pit stops too to shake it all up and bring them all back into some sort of order, and we can sort of then pick out what is going on, but still close racing at this point on track at the moment.
Here's got Craig Friend trying to get up the inside of Todd Duggan at turn 1. Couldn't quite get the run that he wanted at this stage of the race. He'll have to settle back in again. And Brett, you've got a good rear end view of that car. How's it running at the moment ahead of you in this battle here with Todd Duggan?
Yeah, I see a couple of times Friend got a bit loose out a couple of corners, so that was interesting on a couple of spots, but other than that, look at this racing going on up ahead.
Well, Matt Scholes is hungry for positions here tonight. The 2-time champion had a strong run last week in Mexico City. Work to do to get that car up into the top 10 tonight. He's currently up 16 positions into P21. And he's got a similar driver worth of positions gained tonight. Darryl Callahan ahead of him, up 15 in P20. Then they've got Darren Goosey up 12 in P19 as well. Todd Duggan's up 14 into P24 at the moment. Biggest gain of the race thus far, though, is Matthew Scholes with that 16 positions gained to this stage.
This is a great little battle pack too. Look, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, hang on, something's happened there. Someone's disappeared. If I can up me counting, I'll have to bloody take my socks off in a second.
The steam out of your ears might indicate the kettle's boiled as well. There's Duggan feeling the pressure here from Pete Callahan behind him as well. Craig Friend and himself, Brett, at the back end of this one as well. This is the largest battle pack on the circuit. There's a couple of other battle packs happening too, including this one up ahead of them with the likes of Blanchard, Crosby and Goosey's header sheet starts to break away, and then Mick Clifton started to break away now of the battle between Mulford and Mahoney, which has gone on ever since prior to the pit stops, and then this is a hot one too with Lister and McKenzie. Mahoney
and Mulford have actually traded places, really, haven't they? Because Mulford was chasing down Mahoney before, and now it's the flip side.
Well, one thing we can also see as well, Brett, too, is for Mahoney, practice those race starts leading into this week. Started P12. Race start must have been pretty good. He sits P10 at the moment.
Yep. So up 2 spots.
That's worked out for him.
At
this stage of the night. Hopefully something that could work out for him for the rest of the season as well, of course, with Winton and Phillip Island coming up across the next 2 weeks. Very excited for Phillip Island, Brett. It's always great when we get to roll around there. It might have lost the title now, but at one stage it was the circuit that we've done the most laps and most races around here in V8 Veterans. But there would be a couple of tracks to be getting up there in contention for it, including Bathurst. Adelaide will probably contest with it at some stage, as would the Bend. But Phillip Island is definitely on towards the top of the list of most used circuits in Vets. In Vets, one of the most circulated circuits as well, and one that is always special whenever we get to go there.
Yep. Ooh, and our friend just having a bit of a poke out there on Kelleher. apparently there's an angry pink car chasing me down from Tony Chapman.
We know that Chapman has good pace. He used it in qualifying to his advantage to get out onto the front row. But again, the race start and the pressure has gotten to him. And just, there was a bit of bad luck involved in that, obviously, with the contact with Mackay. But just not the race start that he wanted. And I think that might need to be the piece of improvement that Tony has to focus on going forward now, is that Kiwi has got to get those race starts down to absolute perfection. Because if he does, with the qualifying pace he has, he is going to be someone hard to beat. Then when he focuses on the race starts, make sure that he gets the spatial awareness down pat, he is going to be a very tough customer to battle with. As Ben Brook and Todd Duggan battle away here, as well as Friend battles with Mr. Fisher, who gets around the outside of turn 3. Great move there, Brett. Woo. Good job.
Go me. I could see Brett Taylor coming, so I thought, I better move up here a little bit. Better keep myself in front of Brett. Very intense little battle pack here.
It is indeed. Checking up the front of the field, of course, Chad Viger sitting out pretty, 4.5 seconds over Matthew Day. Probably a good chance to talk about this now as well. This, unfortunately for the team, is actually the last round that this team will be running with its current drivers on board. 266 Sim Racing here, Brett. Unfortunately, some things have happened within the team that has led to a lot of the drivers leaving, and the majority of which have actually moved over to Shadow Racing in your outfit. So that means you're about to gain quite a few teammates here in Split 2 this season, including Dave Duddle, Matt Day, and Ernie Toth. In and amongst this field.
I was walking past the church and just found a cardboard box. It was sitting up the steps of the church. I opened it up and there was a whole heap of 266 racing guys here.
Brett, if you're cold, they're cold too. Bring them inside.
Yeah, winter. Come on, boys. Come over. We'll give you somewhere to hang.
But it is obviously a pretty significant team change for a lot of them, of course. Pretty significant in terms of the landscape and the amount of teams. Luke Ullman, of course, obviously is one of them that's moved over to Shadow Racing now as well.
And that bloody Damon Fisher.
I know. That's the other point too. The Fish brothers are finally in the same team. Not the way that we probably wanted it to go about. But the Fisher brothers are finally in the same outfit together, just not in the same split.
Yeah. No, that's okay, and I'm happy with that. Damon's going really, really well. Like his times are being blisteringly fast. I think I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Just some pit strat as we see Matty Day get past old Bush. Just some pit strat and a few little things he needs to tidy up, and I think he'll be, he's the top half of split 1, I reckon. Easy.
Well, we'll see how things all pan out now for those drivers who moved across to the team. And it's a shame. On board. It's a shame that 266 has gone the way of the Dodo Bird now, gone into extinction, unfortunately. Yep. Obviously, we thought, and we spoke about it, we thought that team was going to be very strong when we saw all the different drivers that they brought on board within their second season. We thought that team was going to be one that's going to be strong for a long, long time. Great development project for all the drivers involved in that team as well. Obviously, it's a bit of a shame now that they've all had to leave that team, but things happen, of course, and things change.
When you said gone the way of the Dodo Bird, I flashed onto Ice Age. Dodo Birds are fighting over the melon. The last melon.
Todd Duggan here as well, still running strong just ahead of Ben Brook. Speaking of teams that have unfortunately gone the way of the Dodo Bird, Nova Sim Sports, another one of them. Of course, we've spoken about that this season already, and the changes that has come about off the back end of that happening. As Chris Blanchard just trying to chase down Simon Heddersheet. He's got Darren Crosby. He's just gotten past Darren Goosey behind him. So the battle of the Darrens here, the duel of the Darrens, if you will, just inside of the top 20. Then they've got Darryl Callahan in behind them. So maybe it's the duel of the Darrows.
Callahan.
Callaghan. Thank you. Not Callahan.
Callahan.
It's a C to start, of course.
Sorry.
Yeah. Only just saying fresh start happening, and sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes that is the thing that can rocket ship your way up the order is a nice fresh start, new environment, new team, new opinions to surround yourself with. That can often be one big upgrade for yourself as a driver. And one thing that I often say is it's nice to remain in your team for a long period of time. If you feel that your team doesn't necessarily have the correct culture for you, maybe it's time to look for a new team, because that new team may be the ones that push you to the next level and help find you a new and strong home that suits yourself.
Maybe you need a bit of yogurt or your cult. It's got a bit of culture in it, hasn't it?
You really buttermilked that one in there, Brett.
Unbelievable lap, 17 of 41 here at the Bend. Let's get back into some racing. Let's see what's going on here.
So
We've got
Chad Weiger is in a very dominant leading position at the moment, although he has actually dropped some time to Matt Day now. That's now down to less than 4 seconds. Crucially, the gap down to Stephen Kokoschke is down to 11.6 seconds as well. So Kokoschke, now that he's got a little bit of gap ahead of him to Steve Grumley, has just started to chase down that gap to the race leader. The gap that crucially needs to be below roughly 11 to 12 seconds for Kokoschke to take the race lead off the back of the next pit stop. Up to lap 18 of 41 here. Don't want to be doing more than...
She's got gaps. I've got gaps. Together we fill gaps.
What's the gap to Chad
What
Hamish?
movie?
Well, it's 11 and a half
What
seconds,
movie?
Stephen. What is it?
Rocky Balboa.
Brett, I'll be honest with you. I don't even think I've actually watched Rocky Balboa in the years that I can actually comprehend movies. I probably watched it when I was very, very young, but I haven't watched it in the years that I've actually comprehended movies. I don't
Unbelievable.
know. Yeah. Never really came
It's
about
just
for me to watch it.
I'm just wasted here, aren't
No. Adrian!
Got me, Mick. Anyway, back onto the racing. We've only gone one lap further than what I did last time. So
we are
18,
cutting up
18 to
way
41.
too early here, Brett. We're cutting up way too early at this stage of the race. But yeah, so for Kokoschke, you can see the gap there to the race leader. It is currently 11 and a half seconds. It needs to be less than 11 for him to try and guarantee himself the race lead off the back of this next pit stop. He is on track to be on the podium, though. That's important. And the reason that's important is he's on the road to trying to go 3 from 3 this season in podium finishes is Stephen Kokoschke, which would be his by far strongest start to a season. If he can get 2 wins within that as well, he'd be 2/3 of the way to the amount of wins he took last season in what was arguably one of his worst results at the end of the season for season 27. Bush
done a great job of allowing the guys in the front end to sort of cruise on past. Good on you, Bushy. Well done, mate.
He's done well.
Keep going, keep plugging away there, buddy.
Yep. And you know, based on how Jeremy's been driving, we may see him in split 3 again next season. It's important though for Jeremy that he just keeps plugging away, just keeps pushing on.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully for his sake we find a couple more locked-on lads out on track in future as well. That might get him some teammates to work with, because it is one thing to try and do it on your own, you know, or try and do it with teammates in vets who might be across other splits, but it's another thing to try and do it on your own in a single split yourself. That's a very difficult task out there as well. So Stephen Kokoschke saying 3 from 3 wins would have sounded better. It's a pretty hard task there, Stephen, unfortunately, being that Matt won last week. So probably should have won at Mexico if that was going to happen. But although in saying that, there's still time for Stephen to actually beat the record. The current record is 4 wins in a row. Stephen Kennedy, most wins concurrent in a single season and overall in split 2 of vets. Kokoschke could still do that. He could win tonight and then win the next 3 races, and all of a sudden he has matched that, win the next 4 races, he then beats it to 5. He would then go to second on the list of a single season wins of 6, and it'd be 1 away from matching the record of Logan Barnett with 7 race wins. That would be an almighty effort for Kokoschke to do that. Unbelievable effort for him to do it. But right now, based on how he's driving, Brett, is anyone out there going to be able to challenge him for these race wins and these podiums?
Who knows? Who knows? Well, and that's the thing. I was just thinking about that before, Hamish, is that, you know, and it's been, I mean, Kokoschke's been driving very, very well. I'd like, if there was another 1 or 2 drivers at his level battling it out, that's what I want to see Kokoschke, you know what I mean? I want to see him in a battle of 2 or 3 drivers that are equal on par with him, and seeing how that plays out, seeing how that all, you know, how that gels. And then if he goes well there, I'll, you know, not that I'm on Kokoschki's side, because I am. It's just that, you know what I mean? I just want to see how he battles in with other guys around him, how that all plays out.
Well, Roy Clark's asking, how does that work with next week's sprint round? Personally, I've counted it as a round win more so than a race win. Because I suppose next week 2 race wins are on offer, aren't they, Brett? So that could be a case where Stephen wins tonight, wins both races next week, and then wins the week after, and he's matched the record. Or do we look at that as round results? That's something for us to discuss in the back end. We're right on board with Kokoschki, the championship leader, as he battles in behind Steve Grumley at the moment on the rear end of the circuit. Putting a bit of pressure on him here. They try and fight on forward.
It's good to watch. Grumley was quick too. Grumley had some good pace. It'll be good to see this little battle unfold. Gosh, a big dive under there. Slightly different driving styles. Now, Hamish, I sent you a leaked photo on the Discord. Can you, are you able to share that at all?
I am.
Is it too hard for you to do? So, have a look. This is a really good. I mean, have a look at that closing gap on Grumley by Kokoschki. You see slightly different lines, slightly different power applications. Grumley getting a bit squirrely. Here we go. Kokoschki in pits for his second stop. Here we go. He's all on for young and old now. Now we're going to see all things unfold. So far, we've been green flag from start to lap 21 at this point of 41 laps to be completed. So Kokoschki in pits.
This is the big money stop for Kokoschki at this stage of the race. There is Chad Weiger. You might be wondering, what is the image that has been sent to me by Mr. Brett Fisher? Well, you're about to
Mr.
find out
Unknown.
Mr. Unknown. We've been sent sneaky images from Mr. Unknown here today, it seems. And I believe it is is it a preview of Mr. Damon Fisher's car now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, that's what I was led to believe anyway.
Well, we're going to get a bit of a preview. It's apparently it's doing a hot lap at the moment here, Brett, out on circuit. I've just heard. So let's see here. So there's the car there. It's on circuit. He's driving the wrong way at the moment here, Brett.
What's going on?
But there's the car there. That is the car of David Fisher, the Hello Kitty machine.
Nice.
So there you go. That is Damon's car. Now he's moved over to Shadow Racing. He should make the Shadow Racing logo black, I think, Brett, with the text and the logo. That'll stand out beautifully over that pink.
It will, won't it? Yeah. That'd be great.
What a beautiful machine.
I'm sure he'll enjoy that. I haven't seen. Is Damon in the chat tonight? I haven't seen him. Made a mention,
I've just watched back when I brought that image on screen and I've just pulled it across the circuit. Oh.
Unbelievable.
I crack myself up sometimes. If you can't do that, what are you doing? Got to be able to crack yourself up sometimes. Yeah. Roy Clark is battling hard here.
The pink is the new black.
Oh, apparently it is. I thought orange was the new black, according to certain female prisons. But
yeah.
Roy Clark battles here with Wade Reynolds at the back end of just outside the top 10, just inside of the top 15.
Blanchard under pressure from Goosey and Crosby.
Yes, indeed.
Crosby and Goosey.
Callaghan just in behind them as well. Chase that gap down. Matt Scholes into pit lane for his second stop of the race.
Oh, that was wide.
That was very wide. That was very close.
Yeah, that was wide.
That was very, very close to that wall. He's now into pit lane.
I think we seen that last time we were here. We seen a few people pile into that wall, didn't we?
I think we did. Damon is in the chat tonight as well.
Oh, is he?
He's asking anyone want a new teammate. He hasn't even started a race yet for you. Craig Miller doing a great job here as well. Inside of the top 10, although pit stops will play a factor in this, whether he actually stays here by the end of the night. But Craig Funky Miller doing a great job, up 5 positions. Rick Feiger's up 16 behind him. Wade Reynolds and Roy Clark, though, side by side down the hill. Look to battle this out. Quick. Reynolds up the inside, gives a little door there to Clark. It is not over just yet. Clark's had to back out of it for the moment. This is dragging Abel Verban into this battle as well. Reynolds, though, runs it wide. Here comes Clark, trying to get the power down. Could he line up a move? Down at the bottom. to get this car past Wade Reynolds. Inside line and offer for Roy Clark. Up the inside at turn 13. Roy Clark, can he hold on to it? He'll get to the outside of 14. Reynolds to the inside. Hangs onto it for the moment. And as they dip back down the hill again, Clark's got to find a way through as Chad Weiger is into pit lane. We know Kokoschki's already come in. He's back in P29. Let's see where Chad ends up in comparison to him.
And this is not over yet either. Clarkie just gathering himself there for a couple of seconds. He's on the inside now. Wow, and
oh, and that's Rick Weiger that's just ahead of him as well.
wow,
He's been caught up in some drama on his own. They're still on here, side by side, up the main straight. Rick Weiger's giving a bit of pull here to Wade Reynolds, but Verben, if he can get close enough, maybe had to give a bit of bump draft just to Roy Clark. Inside line at turn 1, though. Can Clarkie get it done on Reynolds? Yes, he can on the exit at turn 1. Roy Clark, what a move, what a battle, but Reynolds is not going to give it up just yet.
What a sensational battle. So here we go. Kokoschki coming down the straight.
There's Chad. There is Chad. So Kokoschki's going to jump him. He's going to jump him on pit exit, and that is how close the race lead is.
Wow.
That is how close it is after 23 laps and 2 runs through pit lane. It's just as close as it was before the first stop, but the top 2 have flipped around. Kokoschki now, race leader, wants his second race win of the season. He's got to survive another 18 laps of this race when he crosses the line the next time by.
Are you not entertained? I'll tell you what, how good is this? Lap 23 of 41 here at the Bend. Round 3. Things are starting to get going. You see now Rick Weiger, Clark, Reynolds, Verben still having a battle there.
What a move it was for Roy Clark. That might be pass of the season, honestly. That may well be pass of the season. That was incredible from Roy Clark. It must be said.
Maybe that might get him into the driver of the day.
Well, you know, if we had a Bunnings Power Pass, that would surely be in contention. Matt Day, Paul Burns, Scott McKenzie now all in pit lane. Craig Miller's in as well after a minor off track at the final corner. He pulls it in. And this battle continues on now into the top 10 as they all sneak on by.
Maybe we're going to have a Fisher's how flippin' good was that pass.
And they get past Adrian Zeal, who comes out of pit lane as well. Let's them all go there to Zippy.
Did you just let that go?
To be honest with you, Brad, I actually missed what you said.
You just moved straight on.
I actually missed what you said. Could you please say it again?
What did I say?
I don't know.
Maybe it could be a Fisher's Flippers. Nah, it's gone now. Don't worry about it.
I feel bad. I feel bad that I missed it.
No, it's okay. No,
I'd caught the focus of Adrian Zeal letting the cars past him, thinking, oh no,
I'll break it.
I was hyper-focused on the battle.
Yeah. I know.
Missed the, Craig saying he actually, sorry, just quickly, Craig actually saying he actually had a bit of a tangle with Tim Mulford, so that's why he went off track and then through pit lane. To apologise for that, right. Craig. We'll try and get it into the post-race highlights later on. Joe Mahoney's actually gotten past Tim Mulford, by the way, so Joe's having a great run tonight. What a run for Joe Mahoney here. As Callahan still tries to chase down Goosey, as Todd Duggan has gotten past Darren Crosby, who is gone. Crosby has dropped from the session. It's race over for the leader of M1 Racing. In his first outing for the season, he hasn't made 75%. Oh, there we go. Hoffy wrote it down for us. It was Fisher's Flippers Flipping Flip, apparently.
No, it wasn't Flippers. No, it was Fisher's. No, it's gone. I had it perfect the first time. It doesn't matter.
We'll have to clip it for next week.
Fisher's flipping fantastic passes. No, Fisher's doesn't matter. Move on. We'll move on. Mulford getting past Lister going into pit lane. Reynolds in pit lane as well.
Blanchard's into Darren Crosby.
And Blanchard in too. Yeah.
Oh, so Crosby's actually reappeared actually. So he wasn't actually gone completely. He disappeared. Now he's back. So okay, that's fine. So Crosby in. Yeah. Ben Brook, Tony Chapman into pit lane as well.
So we're starting to see this field normalise. I think it was Andrew Galley in pit lane as well.
There is the battle for the corrected race lead. Kokoschki, Weiger, and both of them know it's not worth battling over right now, knowing who they've got ahead of them. They cannot afford to give up time to Steve Grumley, Mick Clifton, or, guess this, Joe Mahoney. They do not want to give up any time to them. So they've just got to work together for a little bit. Get through this pit stop cycle, and then you can fight on when you've got about 10 laps to go.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's it. See where everything's at. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? You might have. Oh, Weiger just having a big lock up then. That was very big lock up into that turn. Got the car off a bit, out of shape a bit. It's not going to help his tyre temperature or seat temperature.
So we've had confirmation as well from race control. Jamie Peters has been given a post-race redress penalty to Stuart Hall for that contact into pit lane, by the way. Unfortunately, that does not give Stuart Hall the 40 seconds back that he lost from the stop hold that he was given because of that contact. So there is a penalty that's been handed out to Peters because he's been found at fault. But unfortunately for Hall, he does not get the race time back that he lost due to the stop hold penalty.
Tell you what, Chad really having to try and wring this car's neck because I've seen him out of shape a few times following, God, I went blank there for a second, Kokoschki. So he's really trying to stick with him, but he's having a fight to do it. So this might be sort of taking some life out of the tyres. Just needs to calm that down a little bit. Make sure he can stick with him. So here we go. Head of Sheed, Clifton.
Well, there's an important stop here for Clifton. Clifton's just about to exit pit lane. There's the race leaders. So Mick Clifton is going to come out. Is he going to exit ahead of Matt Day? Oh, this is going to be tight. Matt's got him.
Matt Day's got him on pace.
At pace, he's got him. As now Kokoschki's trying to get past Lovegrove. Yeah, which is 4th position at the moment, but not on the timing sheets because for Lovegrove, he still needs another stop. So it doesn't really make much sense for him to battle them for position because it doesn't help him in this race. It only hurts those guys.
Yeah. So this is starting to get exciting. I like it when it all normalises again after everyone does all their second stops. We can actually just finally see what is actually going on track.
Todd Duggan exiting pit lane as well.
Yep. And Ernie Toth exiting pit lane as well.
Todd Duggan, by the way, is 5 laps away from scoring his first points of the season. So I think everyone is cheering him on.
Car too. It's
a good-looking car. I believe Reg James has made that one for him. It's got the Project Fade stuff on it, so I believe he has made it for him. So yeah, it's a good-looking rig.
I like it.
For Toddy. There's Grumley and Mahoney now into pit lane. So top 2 come in. Where will Grumley end up in comparison to Stephen Kokoschki and Chad Weiger, the corrected top 2 in the race order?
Mahoney in pits as well.
Mulford now will lead a lap. Roy Clark continues on. So does Verban. Callaghan in. Goosey keeps going. Too. He has. He's found a bit more pace. I reckon he's brought the tyre temps back down a little bit, which is very hard to do around here, so he can push on. Because once you've got the temps up too high, it's so hard to drag the car back again.
Oh, it is. It is. He's done really, really well. Now, I wonder whether, Kokoschki, is he doing any fuel saving? Is he just keeping the car under control underneath him and not over driving it? You know, if so, that's brilliant. You know, as you see Grumley exiting.
So he'll come out in behind Paul Burns on the field there. You can see side-by-side action as well. Scott McKenzie has just gotten by Andrew Lister as they get past Mahoney on the exit of pit lane.
Yeah.
So all of this battling is starting to come together again. The race spread in the middle. This is seriously the cookie-cutter approach of close battles at the start, spreads out in the middle. The strategies come together again at the end, and all the battles are on towards the last 10 laps of this race.
Yeah. It's good stuff. It starts to get to the exciting part now. 27 laps of 41 here at the Bend. I think we're in for something. We were in for some good racing towards the end. Yeah, Andrew Galley just doing the fastest lap of his race at a 1:53.9.
I tell you what, Matt Scholes is struggling right now. He's struggling in this battle with Tony Chapman and Pete Kelleher in behind them. This battle is really heating up further down the order as well. Might be one to come back and check out a few laps time.
Yeah, I think there's a few probably battles on track we need to check out as the race closes on. Tip Mulford in pit lane.
As the race leader comes in, Roy Clark takes over the race lead now. Ahead of Sheed Reynolds, Rick Viger, Darren Crosby. Their battle is now heated back up again. They got Blanchard on the tail of this battle pack as well. This is
Brendan
just
Taylor,
inside of the top
positions.
25. As yes, Craig Friend has just gotten a job done up the order, it seems, at this stage.
Looks like Friend just like he's driving well, but just having a couple little issues with the car. We've seen him off a few times tonight. Grove, Crucy and Friend and Mulford in pits, as you just said.
Brett Fisher into P3 on the road. What is happening here, Brett?
Not much. I've got to pit soon. Nothing exciting.
Winning the battle of the Brits at the moment, though.
Yeah. How good's this? Just in front of Brett Taylor.
Unfortunately for you, though, Brett Taylor's going to gain 4 seconds on you in the pit stop.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to find some pace here, Brett.
Yeah. I didn't have much pace in here,
Oh, Yusuf Corfinas, Craig Miller, by the way, battling away here. Just inside of the top 15, so it's all getting close.
Sideways. So what have we got? We've only got 4 cars to complete, 6 cars to complete their second stop. And then we're all on level playing field again.
We are indeed, and right now, this is the battle for the corrected race lead of Stephen Kokoschke and Chad Viger. In behind them, the battle for corrected P3, Matthew Day and Mick Clifton. Chasing them down is Paul Burns and Steve Grumley as well. Then you've got Andrew Lister fighting along with Scott McKenzie here. And then as well, Craig Miller and Yusuf Corfinas fighting away for honours inside of the top 15. But they're doing an absolutely spectacular run thus far. And I would suspect that a couple of Bretts are about to join them.
Lovegrove and Galley just swapping places.
Still tightly together as Andrew Galley on the inside forces Lovegrove a bit wide. Galley gets that job done. Not worth very much in terms of big points, but it is worth the bragging rights and getting yourself a couple more points on the board at the end of this race.
Pits.
So these are the last stops now for the majority of the field. There's a few who still need one more, including Yusuf Corfinas, Scott Weston as well. Both need one more stop in this race to get their cars home. We've currently got one non-finisher tonight, that being Dave Arney. He's currently not finished the race. He unfortunately pulled out early.
He did go to the chopper.
Yeah. That was a great impression there, Brett. I thought it was actually over my house. See as well, this battle pack's heating up too, Brett, because if you notice now the differential, Peter Kelleher has actually jumped Matthew Scholes and Tony Chapman. And you see who's just come out of pit lane around them. Yourself and Brett Taylor is involved in this too. So this pack has really heated up down here.
Look at the tree. Look how many close battling going on there. So we've got Kokoschke and Viger only 2.2 second to 0.3 behind each other there. And then we've got Matt Day, Clifton, half a second there. A little bit of gap between Burns, Grumley and McKenzie. McKenzie's under fire from Lisson and Mahoney. Right, to see Mahoney having a good run, as we talked about earlier.
Sorry, Tony Chapman wants to move down the inside at 6. He's got on the outside at the quad right-hander. This should give Scholes the benefit. It will, as he'll take back position before they get to turn 11. But he's given up crucial time to Pete Kelleher ahead of him here. Oh, this battle is getting feisty. Oh, no, Todd Duggan. Todd Duggan, 2.5 laps away from the critical 75%, has dropped out again.
Bloody hell.
Oh, that is an absolute heartbreak and a shame. An absolute heartbreak and a shame for Todd Duggan. You hate to see it. Oh, Matt Day. Mick Clifton here. Clifton in the battle for P3. What a move for Mick Clifton to put it on to the Split 3 champion of last season. Matt Day's now caught to the inside. He's not done. His day is not done. Is it going to be night time? Across the nose. Self-cleared on Clifton. He self-cleared it on Clifton. Clifton comes through. Burns gives him a bit of a push. And what's going to go on the back of this? Steve Grumley's going to take advantage and get it up into P3. It's heartbreak for Clifton. He worked so hard to get that job done. And then a small self-clear from Day across the nose. And then a bump from Burns has cost him a podium position in this race with a little over 10 laps to go. Unbelievable heartbreak.
Wow. Wow. Day back on track now. Day would be, yeah. Just try and, obviously, just try and get the car back into shape and let's keep going. Head down, bum up.
That's all he can do. It's his best he can do at this point.
And Clifton's still hanging on with Grumley, though. He's only 0.3, 0.4 of a second behind, so that battle's not over and done with just yet.
It's not at
Same
all.
with Figer.
Yep, it's all happening up and down the field. As Matt Day has rejoined the circuit, by the way, just ahead of Tim Mulford and just in behind Roy Clark. Roy's been on fire tonight and a great race for him after last week.
Yeah.
As further back in the field, Pete Kelleher's run off the circuit. Kelleher's run off the circuit, so there goes that gap back to Tony Chapman. So all of a sudden, this long, long train of cars is hounding the rear end of the Synergy Sim Racing pink machine of Peter Kelleher.
Now have a look at this little train, hey. It is intense.
This is unbelievably close for all these drivers. Put the piece of the puzzle together as Scott Weston finally comes into pit lane for his final stop. We're just awaiting Yusuf Korfidis to do the same, as Peters has had an off track at the midpoint of the circuit as well, so he gets rejoined behind Ernie Toth. He will drop one position though in this race currently to Stuart Hall for that post-race redress as Tony Chapman runs it wide. And now Scholes is on the tail of him. We've got to keep an eye on this. This pack is surely going to end in tears because it is intense.
I'll tell you what, Tony Chapman nearly ended up bloody going into pits on involuntary. Nice big move there from, who's that one? Oh, jeez. Is that Scholes?
That's Matt Scholes.
Matt Scholes.
He's running very, very well. Is Matthew Scholes.
He's releasing...
It's releasing Kelleher again.
Kelleher, yeah, he's released. Yeah, he's got a bit of a break here now. Scholes having a bit of another look there. Lap 31 of 41, and 11 laps to go.
This is...
And the Bretts and the Brett and Brett are back together again.
They are. Somehow you managed to chase down that 4-second gap, Brett. Probably helped by the fact there's a train holding Mr. Taylor up. But,
yeah.
But this battle is just as intense as ever with Matthew Scholes on the rear end of Tony Chapman here. Really firing up. And a great opportunity for us to show off some of the drivers in the back half of the field is when we get a battle pack like this happening.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I'd say Paul Burns has actually managed to get himself just under a second off the back of Clifton, 0.7, 0.8 of a second. But yeah, this is a good little battle. I mean, everyone wants a little slice of the pie here. Getting into that less than 10 laps to go, everything starts to sort of ramp up a little bit.
They're all fighting for it tooth and nail. And this pack of cars is just petered out just a little bit here for the moment. Battle for the race lead, though, is still on, with Kokoschki trying to defend against Chad Viger, and then Steve Grumley with a hot and heavy Mick Clifton in behind him, trying to put the pressure on him for that P3 once again. And Mick will be undoubtedly upset that he lost that position after he only just got it again. But for Grumley, in these sorts of scenarios, he doesn't lose them. We've seen him sneak his way through before. He's very cheeky in terms of picking up the pieces. He literally is the definition of a dustpan in terms of being able to pick up those cheeky positions when the crumbs fall.
Yeah.
And he runs with it. You know, he gets the ball and he runs it forward. And
Viger closing on Kokoschki just for a second.
He's
Sorry.
not quite close enough though. Remembering that
he got
remembering
down to about 0.2, 0.3 for a second there.
The
So
issue is though, so I'll show you what 0.2 looks like, Brett. That's what 0.2 looks like right there. So that is Brett Taylor on the back of Ben Brooks. So
but he was closing. He was closing,
yes.
but then he sort of it seesawed out.
Oh, Peter Kelleher's under pressure here. He's made another mistake. This has now allowed Chapman onto his heels. So this is all happening in this battle pack once again here, Brett, because Kelleher continues to crack under pressure when he starts to break away.
What a great battle. Seeing the slightly different lines there. Pete Kelleher runs a little bit wide there. Chapman having a look on the back now. Chapman to be tasting a little bit of something here.
Well, he
He's gotta watch out,
he knows he can get it done. He knows he can get it done.
Skulls is not going to hang around though.
He won't hang around, will Matt Skulls. So Chapman knows he's got to get this move made, but with that long line of cars behind him trying to get by him as well, he's got to try and hang on to this as best he can. So he's got to think of this from two ends. Do I attack? Do I defend? If I defend, I'm going to give up time. If I attack, I'm going to open the door from an attack behind me. And it's a really tough balancing act at this stage of the race. 8 laps to go in this one. And look at them all, just fighting for it, tooth and nail.
Yeah. Scott Weston actually, Brett Taylor actually had a bit of a poke at Brook there for a second, just coming onto the front straight or coming through that section. Chapman not done with Kelleher yet. Kelleher running like a scolded cat, trying to keep out in front of Chapman.
Well, here comes Matt Skulls. Matt Skulls on the inside of Chapman. Gets that move made. And Chapman almost looked like he gave it to him. He knew that he was alongside and has thought the better.
Move.
Thought the better of it. Let him have it.
Yeah.
Let him put the pressure on Kelleher. See if he can drag you through. That's smart racing from Tony Chapman.
It was a good move.
It's a great move.
It was good that Chapman was aware of what was going on around him there.
Well, it's either he was aware or he was caught napping with a blanket. That was the
maybe
the two scenarios.
Yeah. Fringe just dropping off a little bit off the back, 0.8 off the back. Still staying in contact, but seesawing a bit there. Kelleher doing a great job out in front, but under pressure.
This is such a sensational little pack of cars that are battling away between each other here. And now Matt Skulls is going to put some all-time pressure on Peter Kelleher in the final stages of this race. You've got a 2-time Split 2 champion on your tail. And what do you do to hold him off? And, it's not like you hold him off for a race win, of course. He's only trying to hold him off for P21, but that P21 will feel as sweet as ever for Kelleher, knowing that he's come up from Split 3 into Split 2 for this season. And if he can put one over the 2-time champ, what a way to do it here at Tailem Bend.
Happy days.
Absolutely.
So Kakashi still out in front. Chad still that half a second behind. Grumley about 7.5 seconds off the back of Viger. So that gap there is pretty safe, I think, at this particular point in time. But Clifton and Burns are not done with that battle yet. So Burns really closed up on the back of Clifton now. Was popping underneath half a second, but just hanging out there. So anything could happen there. Roy Clark on the back of Kofidis for a second
Clark
there.
as well, remember too, is the corrected P10 runner at the moment because Yusuf needs a pit stop. So Roy Clark is currently corrected P10 in the order.
Yeah. Scott McKenzie up 11 spots. Clark up 10. Rick Viger up 12 at this current point. So a lot of great little time there. Have a look at that battle pack now. Oh, no, sorry, Kelleher was still at 8-second gap. Sorry, I missed that one there. I thought, holy crap.
Well, it's still super close between them.
For a second there.
It's still super close between them at this stage of the race.
Day getting past Mulford. Mulford dropping another spot to hit sheet.
Yep, Mulford has had a moment, and that's dropped him back in this battle, which is heading up Kofidis finally into pit lane now, so that'll now return the order to its correction, or to the corrected order, I should say. As that battle pack continues on here. Look at this one, though, of Kelleher and Skulls. Skulls even closer to Kelleher this time.
It was intense.
Is he close enough to make a move just yet? No, he's not. He's not quite there off the last corner. So a little bit more to do as Wade Reynolds is stuck in amongst this battle pack here of Verben, Blanchard, Goosey behind him, Crosby, Viger, and that's the lap traffic of of Jeremy Bush is ahead of them. Yeah, Mulford, for some reason, into pit lane again. That maybe his race is over. I'm not sure, but a very, very weird moment for him. Well, this race
so far, lap 35 for 41 here at the Bend. First time in this season we're going to visit. It's going to be a second. First of one of two.
I mean, just a phenomenal drive from a lot of drivers here today, and all of these battles that we've been watching have been absolutely spectacular here tonight.
You could throw a blanket over, like this lower half of this pack. Throw a blanket over there, like, anything could happen here.
I really can. Oh, Matt Day. Matt Day. Yep, has made a mistake, and that is unfortunate for him. Really unfortunate for Matt Day. But he continues to fire forward.
Still, I mean, it's not where he wants to be. I mean, he's lost eight positions, but it's still a 12. It's a top 15 still run. It's worth banking. Mahoney closing a little bit on Listener.
Yeah, he's just right on him at the exit of turn 1. That continues on.
He's had a great race, this race.
You can see here, though, that Pete Kelleher continues to try and defend here against Matt Skulls. Is Skulls going to get close enough just yet? Well, he's closer this time, but he's not quite close enough on this lap by. But he's closer than he was before. So this battle pack is going to heat up once again, as it is now 6 laps to go in this race.
Yeah, and you get to this point in time and things just start getting a little bit heavier, don't they? The pressure starts to sort of build up a bit further. We talk about the pressure cooker. This is when the cooker is starting to build pressure. Anything and can seldomly, no, don't stop saying what I'm saying. You know what I'm trying to say. Things happen. Watch out.
Indeed, they do. Steve Grumling's
Clifton
under pressure.
within 0.2.
Yep, he's under pressure from Clifton here. So this is looking to be a great assault for Mick Clifton up the order tonight. And what a drive this would be for Mick Clifton to put this car into P3.
Callaghan getting past Brooke.
So these guys are now broken further back off of that initial battle pack we were watching.
Friend's gone too.
Friend's
gone off the back of that.
Yeah, he's gone off the back about 3 seconds back. But look at Matt Skulls. Look at how close he is right now on the back of Pete Kelleher. This is going to be intense for the end of this race. What a battle we are watching here. This is all for P21. Now actually for P19 is what Peter Kelleher's in. But it's been the battle pack we've been focused on for so long because it has been heating up lap after lap. So many twos and throws. And late in this race, this is looking to be a pressure pot scenario for these drivers here tonight. Skulls, you saw there, got a bit loose off of, that was turn 12. And it's now got to reset. It's a run up towards turn 13 once again.
This pack just spreading out a little bit as we can talk about. The front is staying a little bit status quo at the moment. So Viger getting out to about 0.7 now. Pretty impressed with Viger, how he's how he's just managed to stay within contact of Kokoschki. And he's, seen him loose there early, but he's managed to settle the car down. It could have gone sideways for him, but he's managed to actually bring the car back under control. So that's great to see. Looked like Hedesheed in front there just had a little bit of a lock-up too, maybe. Day now come under pressure from Rick.
Yeah, Rick not quite
Crosby,
close enough though to put it on.
No, but
just they've got to get closer. They've got to be right under the rear wing to put pressure into these heavy braking zones and these more medium speed corners. They can't do it from a car length back. They've got to be right there to put the pressure on each other. You know, let's just, seriously, they've got to try and stick it as close as they can. And I know it's hard because I know the tyres are starting to wear away. The cars are starting to wear away. And the driver is starting to wear away as well. But this is where the pressure pot builds you.
Yeah, sorry, Ben Brook was close. He was only with 0.1 of a second of the back of Brook. Sorry, who was in front of him?
Darryl Callaghan.
Callaghan. So that really closed up. Skulls attacking the back of
Pete Kelleher, which then this has been such a tight battle between them all throughout. Is he going to be close enough here up at the second to last corner? He's trying to find a way through. Is Matt Skulls? Oh, Pete Kelleher got loose though. Kelleher has got loose off the AstroTurf, and all of a sudden Skulls out of the outside. The opportunity he's waited for here to get this done. Oh, Kelleher though. Kelleher's dawed him off the road up towards the pit entry. Skulls has turned him and put him in the wall, giving him a receipt, and straight in the wall goes Kelleher. And now the field behind us to take evasive action to not hit that car sitting across the road.
What a shame. Oh, it's getting side by side now. Brook and Skulls.
That one's still happening. Where is Kelleher? Kelleher's rolling again. He is rolling again up towards turn one. Oh, Ernie Totho's coming in really hot here. Kelleher was right on the racing line with a damaged car, and Totho's nowhere to go.
Wow.
That was very, very messy. Very messy indeed.
It's all of a sudden got really tight back there too. Between Taylor, Brook, and Brook's got past himself, I think, or did he drop? He's dropped. So Brett Taylor's got in front of him.
Yep.
Yeah. Damn you, Taylor.
The battle for P3 continues on, of course. Steve Grumley, Mick Clifton, Paul Burns. Paul Burns has actually been given a post-dress redress penalty to Mick Clifton as well. So no matter if Paul actually gets past Mick, Mick will finish ahead of him in this race.
Lap 39 to 41 here at the Bend. Tailem Bend. It's all going off. It's starting to really heat up. And in some cases, the pop is starting, the top is starting to pop.
I'm getting word from race control as well, Brett. They reviewed that incident. It is a racing incident between Kelleher and Skulls.
Wow.
Can't say I blame them because Kelleher's dawed Skulls off, not left in racing room, and then Skulls has served him a receipt and put him in the wall. So I think both drivers have a part to play.
Viger on day, side by side.
It is on between them up towards turn one. Rick Viger up the inside. Can he get it past Matthew Day? Rick Viger, what a great run up the field today. 15 positions gained him to P12 for Rick Viger. Take a bow. What a drive here tonight. Unbelievable.
Tell you what, I hope you've enjoyed the racing tonight because it is got a little bit quiet in the middle there, but I tell you what, it has really turned it on now.
I tell you what,
we've got to go.
Well, we've got 3 to go. I think now we've got to try and figure out 4 names to put forward here, Brett, for driver of the day to put into the poll, because we can get the poll going before the race actually ends. I've got 4 names, but I'm tentative on.
Brett
I'm tentative
Taylor
for one of them
behind
to be
Brett Fisher.
involved. Oh, that's happening here. Where has Brett Fisher gone?
No,
Brett Taylor. Brett Taylor. Brett Taylor's gone. So sorry.
Yeah.
Brett Taylor's gone off.
I think Brook may have got a tangle with Taylor. I think. I can't remember. Go me.
Okay. Chad Viger now on the tail of Stephen Kokoschke once again. See, I'm struggling to narrow it down to 4, and I can't do 5 because the poll only allows 4. So we have to narrow it to 4.
Well, what do you got?
I've got Rick Viger, Roy Clark, Andrew Listener, Joe Mahoney, and Mick Clifton. Right now, my 5. We have to narrow it to 4.
I had written down Roy Clark and Mick Clifton.
Yes.
That's all I'd got to.
Okay.
That doesn't help you.
Oh, Ben Brook. Ben Brook runs it wide.
Ben Brook, yeah.
And that's now allowed Brett Fisher past. Maybe we put Mick in instead of Andrew because I think for Joe Mahoney after his first 2 rounds. The fact that he's up here inside of the top 10, that's a great effort and a great turnaround for him. I think Andrew, the way that he's driven, he's been around this area before. I think he can definitely be up here again, though, in rounds future.
So just quickly going through some of the heavy hitters on laps gained. Scott McKenzie up 11 at the moment. Roy Clark up 11. Rick Viger up 15. Darren Goosey up 8. Wade Reynolds 9. Christopher Blanchard up 9. Darren Goosey up 13. Daryl Callaghan up 15. Matty Scholes up 16. Andrew Galley up 10.
It's been great racing between them, must be said. You know,
Clifton
actually,
closing on Grumley again too.
he is indeed.
With Burns in hot pursuit.
Yep, he's right on him as Mick Clifton. White flags out, final lap of the race. So for Stephen Kokoschke and Chad Viger, it's 1 more to go. And for Mick Clifton, it's 1 more lap to put this Accelerate Sim Racing car on the podium.
Oh, Mick.
And I'll tell you what, I'm going to be fair to those who I can't decide between. I'm going to give 3 names today. I'm going to omit both Andrew Listener, Joe Mahoney and Craig Miller because I can't decide between the 3 of them.
Yep. Oh,
I think the other
Clifton
3
a
are
little
just
bit
as
loose
good
coming
though.
around there, but he's closed that gap 0.3 of a second. Burns is just about he's about 0.7, so he's not really in this fight at the moment, but he can pick up the crumbs if anything happens.
He can indeed.
Still hanging around that 0.3. Viger 0.4 off the back of Kokoschke. Brilliant drive from Viger, Chad being.
Fantastic drive from Chad Viger. What a drive from Stephen Kokoschke as well. We've got that poll up now for Driver of the Day, so we want everyone to get their votes in.
Day dropping.
Oh, Matt Day, where's he gone? He's stuck on the outside at turn 3. That is not helpful for Matt Day, and that's dropped him right to the back of this train. Unbelievable heartbreak for Matt Day tonight. A real shame for him.
It's a shame, yeah.
Yep.
Had the pace. Rick's not done with... sorry, not Rick. Chad's not done with this yet. Chad is not done.
not
Same
done.
with Clifton. Clifton got within 0.1 of a second.
Oh, he was
0.2.
right there. He was so close. He was so close at turn 14 was Mick Clifton, but he wasn't close enough. And for Kokoschke, he's got enough gap back to Chad Viger to lead up towards the final corner. This has been an incredible race for Stephen Kokoschke, who will come across the line now for the 2nd time this season. Stephen Kokoschke wins at Tailem Bend to Chad Viger. And then Steve Grumley is going to sneak his way forward and put himself up into P3 just ahead of Mick Clifton with Paul Burns, Scott McKenzie, Andrew Lister, Joe Mahoney. Craig Miller is going to come home in a great top 10 finish tonight. And Roy Clark, what a drive from him, up 11 positions into the top 10 after last week's race. What a drive from him.
Yeah, well done. Still not over yet for Verban and Blanchard, Goosey and Reynolds. That's still fairly close there.
That is close from them. It's going to get decided at the line.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can do it there. And then we've got Scholes, myself, and Brooke coming into the line in a second. It's getting close.
I think
we have Taylor.
We have to give an honourable mention here, Brett, to the likes of Listener, Mahoney, and Miller, out-driving their previous performances to get into the top 10. Unfortunately, I couldn't separate them in terms of a Driver of the Day nomination. I really couldn't separate them. I think that Clifton's performance, where he drove comparatively to where he's previously been driving, was fantastic. The fact as well that he didn't actually cause that incident with Matt Day. That was a self-clear from Day across his nose, so that keeps him clean. Roy Clark, great drive after last week's result. And then Rick Viger, I mean, what a return to form for him. Finishes outside the top 10, but that 15 places gained, what a drive from him to get that job done.
Oh, some brilliant drives throughout this, and safety car free.
Yeah, safety car free.
Well done to everyone. You know, so that's fantastic. But that was a great race. Really, really. I mean, there were some hard-fought battles on track.
Absolutely. Absolutely, there was some really hard-fought battles out there and some fantastic battles as well. As there we see the provisional race results here for round 3 of the season. Stephen Kokoschke takes home the race lead ahead of Chad Weiger and Steve Grumley on the podium. Matt Scholes, most positions gained tonight, up 16 ahead of Chad Weiger. Oh, Chad Weiger, most laps led 16 laps to himself. Stephen Kokoschke fast lap the race, 153.214. Chad Weiger comes home after he had pole position as well. Mick Clifton inside of the top 5 ahead of Paul Burns with Scott McKenzie, Andrew Listener, Joe Mahoney, Craig Miller, Roy Clark, the top 10. Ahead of Simon Heddersheed, Rick Weiger, Darren Crosby, Wade Reynolds, Abel Verben. Then the top 15. Chris Blanchard, Darren Goosey ahead of Matt Day, Tony Chapman. And Darryl Callahan then finishes out of the just inside of the top 20 as well. Matt Scholes ahead of Brett Fisher, Ben Brook, Craig Friend, Brett Taylor, Andrew Galley, Yusuf Korfidis, Derek Lovegrove, Jamie Peters will get provisionally put behind Stuart Hall due to a post-race redress. So Stuart Hall will actually come home P29. Peters will come home in P30 in behind him. Ernie Toth finish ahead of Scott Weston, Matt Monday, Lorne Mackay, Jeremy Bush, Peter Kelleher, Adrian Zeal, Tim Mulford, Todd Duggan, Dave Arney, the only non-finishers of this race, although Mulford did get to 75%, so he will score points in this race this evening.
Another poll I'd like to put out there, Hamish, would be, can Kokoschke complete his run? Can he continue his form? See what people think on that.
We'll get that out in a moment. We'll get our Driver of the Day results sorted here first. 21 votes out there, so great to have you all voting. Still, though, half of you did not put a vote in. Yes, I am, Stephen. I am serious with those, mainly because based on your pace previously, we would expect you around the podium. Mick Clifton has outdriven his previous best result of the season today to get up to P4. Roy Clark has outdriven his previous best as well to this point of the season. And Rick Weiger, I mean, drove phenomenally to battle away in those battle packs as well throughout that race too. I'm completely serious with those picks. I think they're fantastic picks for Driver of the Day, honestly. We don't want to waste our wild card too early for our winner. Obviously Stephen's driven great in 2 previous races as well, but we don't want to give away his wild card for a race win once again because he may have an even better drive one day this season too. So, I think, based on how well they performed comparatively to where they previously performed and where their previous averages performances are, I think those guys outperform themselves compared to where they've previously been, and they can now take this to the next step forward as well. And if you look back to our previous drivers of the days throughout this season as well, Brett, across the first 2 rounds, last time we had Paul Burns, who drove incredibly well to make up a heap of positions. What a drive from him. And then the week prior, we had... I don't even remember if I actually took a screenshot of it. I did not take a screenshot of it, so I don't actually exactly remember who it was. But I'd have to double check who round 1 was. I can't quite remember. I think it was it James Boardman who got round 1? I think it was James Boardman who got round 1, who again outperformed his previous best. So
be almost time for the highlights, wouldn't it?
We are just about there, Brett, as we get ourselves prepared
Very
for
good.
the post-race highlights here tonight.
Woo!
Out there
Yeah.
for round 3 this season. It was a great race once again for those drivers involved, and it all started on the main straight. And what started with a horrid start for Stuart Hall in neutral, didn't get it off the line, held up the entire field in behind in their way trying to get through, and then Adrian Zeal and Craig Friend have been caught up together and straight in the barrier for those 2 cars off the start-finish line. A very early heartbreak for those drivers, and then not too far later, Tony Chapman has found a bit of contact with Lorne Mackay a bit further back from him. So you see there, he got a bit loose.
Yeah, a little
and then
wiggle.
we'll see here as Brumley comes past as well as Burns. And then you see there's Mackay. So Chapman's actually slowed up, made contact with him, and those guys have been spun round back there as well. So that's where those early incidents came from in
Shame
this race.
Zippy got caught up in that early incident too, because he had a half reasonable, great qualifying.
His best of the season. His best qualifying of the whole season, and unfortunately for him, it went up ducks. We had a smaller moment for Darren Crosby, who found himself off track as well, getting a bit loose and into the grass, trying to traverse it as well. So he tried to fight his way through too. We then kind of just petered out just a little bit there for quite a period of the race. Dave Arney would back out of the session, unfortunately, due to some issues that he was having on the PC. Had some great, fantastic battles, though, as well. But one of the bigger ones, actually, I do want to show off here. This is pretty significant for some of those drivers, and one that we spoke about pre-race as being a possible issue for some drivers tonight. This was off the back of Stuart Hall's car into pit lane, and watch for Jamie Peters in behind him. He decides to come in late. Massive contact, pushes him over the line. That gets him the stop hold. So a bit of heartbreak there for Stewie Hall.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Then we find ourselves Jeremy Bush with a little bit of trouble as well later in the race too. He was in all sorts of strife here tonight and just running it a bit wide.
Big lock up.
Yeah, big lock up for him. Andrew Galley as well got caught up in some very unlucky net code as well up at turn 3 with Jeremy not too long later. So this was quite an unfortunate moment for him down there.
Yeah.
Not much more can be done about that one as well. So we'll just try and find out.
Still finished reasonably well too,
He did,
Andrew.
he
Really,
did,
he did well.
Reasonable finish off the back of that incident as well. So I think he drove very, very well to get back to where he was. We then kind of kept ourselves pretty neat and tidy for the majority of the way through after that. Before we probably got to the most notable incident of the whole race, Brett, it was around about 20 laps later when we found ourselves in what can only be described as a nuclear reaction down at the last corner at the beginning of lap 38 or beginning of lap 39. So watch this here. So we'll go to our chopper cam, which was tracking this. And we'll drag it back just a little bit here. So we can see here that we've got Skulls on the outside, Kelleher to the inside. So Skulls has got to be left a car width to the line. You can see there they get a bit caught up together. Kelleher doesn't quite leave him the room that he needs to. That drags them both off circuit. And then Skulls, well, he's got a choice to make. He's either going to go in the wall, go into pit lane, or aim back for the circuit again. He aims back for the circuit, makes a little bit of netcode contact with Kelleher. That puts him in the wall and probably gave him a little bit of a receipt for it. But at the end of the day, that was determined to be a racing incident because of the severity that both of them had to play in that one.
Yeah, and that's a shame because Piccolo was having a great race there. He was battling out really, really well at the front of that pack, had that held off for quite some time. But, yeah, unfortunately, into a great battle.
It was indeed. And that will bring it into our highlights package here tonight. Just before we get into our post-race interview with Chad Viger in P2, we will take this time to announce our Driver of the Day award here this evening. And it is going the way of Accelerate Sim Racing's Mick Clifton in what was an incredible drive for Mick to take himself to that Driver of the Day award. It must be said that was an incredible result for Mr. Clifton.
It was incredible.
Great drive for him. Unlucky to not be on the podium, arguably, as well. Very unlucky for him to not be on the podium off of that one.
Battled out throughout the whole race there and just did not give up. So, that was brilliant. Great to see. Great to see.
Exactly right. We'll have a chat, though, with one of our podium finishers here this evening in Mr. Chad Viger, who started in P2 here tonight. I started at P1 tonight. We'll finish out at P2. Chad, welcome in. Congratulations. P2 on the road. Pole position tonight. You had great pace. Unfortunately, the strategy dropped you a little bit of time to Mr. Kokoschki. You weren't able to get past him in the end, but how was that drive for you, and how was that race for you to get home in P2?
Yeah, thanks, boys. I was disappointed with my first stint, I suppose. But my second and third stint was really good and interesting watching tonight. When Steve pitted, it was earlier than I was planning on, and then I didn't notice for a lap or two, and I reckon that gave him the undercut. So, yeah, well done to Steve. I sat there for 18 odd laps within half a second of him at the end and just couldn't get close enough.
Chad, early on in that final sort of stage, did you find the car a little bit hard to keep under you for a bit?
Interesting. I heard you say that. I was talking to my brother and congratulating him for his race. And he's telling me, don't push it.
Yeah.
Let the tyres come in. But,
because
I was about a second and a half to 2 seconds behind him. And in the first sort of 2 laps out, I closed that down. But, it was a bit sketchy on old tyres.
I think it was one of those things that you only needed pushing a little bit more and you would have struggled to get those tyres back underneath you. But you did incredibly well to sort of close that gap again and be within fighting sort of, distance to Kakashi for all of that closing stage. It was a great effort.
Yeah, I don't reckon sitting there behind him, we were very consistent, and our lap times were, I don't think we made an error for about 18 laps that was any significant, either one of us. So well done to him. I just need to keep it up because I can only race like normal. I'm away for 3 or 4 races in each sort of series working. So when I'm here, I need to make it count.
And you did tonight, 100%.
So, yeah, no, it was all good. Well done to Steve and Steve behind us. So it was a good qualifying run. That shocked me.
Well, we heard the questions if you were actually driving the car in the practice session when you were putting some of those times down, Chad, and then you managed to put it on pole and back it up again and then back it up with that P2 as well. How easy was it for you to get up to pace during practice this week, or did that take you a bit of time, or were you up to speed pretty quickly?
ASR helps me, so doing 30 or 40 laps in the 2 races in ASR on a Tuesday night gets my eye back in from being away. I didn't get back till Saturday and then sort of started practicing from Monday. A couple of races in ASR on Tuesday night gets me there. Origin Wednesday night, so I didn't get back in it on Wednesday night, and so practice was a bit scratchy, but I knew my times was somewhere there.
Well, it pays off for you tonight, and you get yourself on the podium and a P2 to boot off of that as well. Well, Chad, we appreciate your time. Come and have a chat to us. Congratulations on your P2 finish here and your pole position tonight as well. Is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
No, just the bro. He needs to learn how to qualify. I tell him regularly that, but his race pace gets him to in or around the top 10 each time. So he's just got to qualify better. So he gives me good support.
Well, Chad, you drove incredibly well. We wish you the best of luck next time you're on track here in Split 2, and we'll see if you can make it another podium for yourself whenever it is you're back out there with us. No worries. We'll see you next week, Chad. Well, Brett, great to finally have a podium finisher come to have a chat to us once again this season. Second time it's happened now. We've had a podium finisher come to have a chat to us, so
that's good.
It's fantastic. But we appreciate everybody watching along with us as well here this evening too. We've, of course, got the song to come and the post-show here tonight as well, off the back end of the outro that we often do here for the series, of course. But, yeah, I mean, what a race it was. It's going to be an exciting race the next time we're with you once again when we're out at Winton Motor Raceway for the next round of the season, one that I'm very excited for. It's going to be a tough track, sprint round conditions, 30-minute sprint, 45-minute feature with an inverted top 10 on your grid order. That is going to spice things up. Pit stops, well, they're going to be a very interesting case as well. We'll see how it's all going to pan out next time when we head to the north of Victoria. Big shout out, of course, to the series sponsors, SIMRIGS for their title sponsorship, as well as Logitech, G-Power Motors, Play One, SimGear, Project Fade, Streetwear, LGC Images, and M1 Used Cars. For the driver of the day award, it went the way of Mick Clifton here this evening. Next time, it could go to you. Please be sure to help us support Infinity Broadcasting by clicking the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon too over on our channel, and you can help support the vets by clicking the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon too by supporting them with the Split 2, Split 3, and Split 4 action live here on the V8 Veterans channel. Go help support SimSpeed TV by subscribing over there and watch the live Split 1 action Thursday nights at 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Next up on your docket for Infinity Broadcasting, Monday morning 9:50 a.m. we go racing with Highside Motorsports once again as we begin our final run to the end of the season, as they will go racing in their Gen 6 Cup cars of NASCAR out at Sonoma Raceway. That's going to be one to watch for sure. For myself, Hamish Munro Brett Fisher alongside. I appreciate your time. Appreciate you once again, Brett. Excited for Winton next week.
Thank you. Oh, am I what? Can't wait. It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
It's going to be fantastic.
Thanks for being here, everyone. Really enjoyed everyone's input tonight. Fantastic stuff.
Well, we appreciate you all getting involved with us as well, and appreciate you all joining us here too. We'll see you guys next time, though, for the SIMRIGS V8 Veterans Split 2 action of Season 28 as we roll into Winton Motor Raceway. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
Ground doesn't wait for permission. Engines wake the earth. Drivers carve their names into the dust. Season 28 tightens like a noose. Every lap pulling harder. Every mistake paid in blood and rubber. 41 laps at the bend. No comfort, no mercy, nowhere to hide. If you came for safety, wrong track. If you came for glory, earn it. Engines shake, the earth bend is coming alive. Heat up, atomic drivers ready to drive. 41 laps and the pressure runs mean. Season 28 rising like a war machine. Every point matters, every move a strike. Champions fought when the conditions bite. This land remembers every tire scar. South Aussie night lit by the roar of cars. How can we sleep when the race is burning? How can we stop when the wheels keep turning? 41 laps and the stakes keep climbing. Season 28 building perfect timing. Round 3 hits hard, no compromise. Fire in the engines, fury in their eyes. Crowds on the fences, dust across the plain. V8 thunder rolling like a runaway train. Brake lights flash and shadows cut the track. Push past the limit, never turning back. Championship pressure pounding in the chest. Only the bold survive the test. This track is calling every soul to fight. Bend International burning under light. How can we sleep when the race is burning? How can we stop when the wheels keep turning? 41 laps and the stakes keep climbing. Season 28 building perfect timing. Round 3 hits hard, no compromise. Fire in the engines, fury in their eyes. Turn by turn the rhythm starts to rise. Engines scream like storms across the skies. Season 28 tightening like a vice. Every lap harder, every gamble dies. Hold your nerve, don't break, don't bend. This is the bend, this is the end. How can we sleep when the race is burning? How can we stop when the wheels keep turning? 41 laps and the stakes keep climbing. Season 28 building pressure aligning. Round 3 roaring, nothing left to hide. Champions rising on the other side. Burn, burn.
Red lights screaming, tires bleeding, virtual cubes, the motors breathing, engine thunder from down under, piston fire, turn asunder, put your name in lights. Oh, with the vents tonight, it's a 1,000 decibel supercar fight. Burn this track to the ground with V8 sound. Oh, you're so steel, but the racing's real. Pedal down every pass you feel. Step right up, embrace your bets. This is us, the V8 vets. Put your name in lights. Put your name in lights with the vets tonight. It's a 1,000 decibel supercar fight. Burn this track to the ground with V8 sound. Put your name in lights. Oh, oh, with the vets tonight. It's a 1,000 decibel supercar fight. Burn this track to the ground with V8 sound. Burn this track to the ground. Come on now, put your name in lights.
The racing series is a new milestone in Logitech G. all the great old wheels, the G29, the G920, the G923, they all have their own unique way of connecting to each other, but there's no room for expansion with those products.
So the question arose was, what if we were to give the opportunity for the racer to switch out from a drifting wheel to a GT rim?
With the wheel hubs that we've created, that's got a very specific button set, but you can replace any of the steering wheels.
And the real lovely aspect to this was we could give the user, driver and the racer the opportunity to experience different genres of race.
That allows drivers to craft high quality, customized setups that resonate with your individual racing style.
When we start with the design, we always start sketching. Very often, once we've got sketches, we start discussing with engineering.
We had 3 rounds of engineering testing or user testing where we invited in users from sim racing, and every single round of feedback we refine, the product based on what they tell us.
In the sim racing lab, again, we're going to use data to really analyze what a driver needs. We've used everything from eye tracking to the inputs from the pedals, the inputs from the, let's say, input devices, the wheel and the pedals, the shifter. We're taking that and we're compiling it so that we can build different products based on those individuals' needs for all consumers and all drivers.
I don't know of anyone else in the industry that's actually doing this kind of research into their products to see how their products are affecting performance of their users.
We've built the product to make sure that it's as reliable as possible.
So the innovations in engineering that I'd say we're most proud of is the sequential handbrake and shifter toolless changeover. This is now a patented system, so it's really easy for the user to just switch between modes.
If you give people the tools to do what they want, they will.
They will just go off and have fun.
Really busy down in Melbourne with SIMRIGs. I've actually built our first rig in Melbourne. It's featuring our new ASR chassis. So basically it's an ASR Pro with a cubic QS210 motion system with a cubic BT1 belt tensioner. I've coupled it with an awesome set of LG ultra wides. What you've seen before, these are the new brackets that I've made for the cubic system to suit the ASR, and you notice it's really low to the ground. We got it really low to sort of match a real car, like a lot of motion systems sit quite high, and that's really annoying that you need steps to actually get in it. So now I've lowered it down, it's actually really low to the ground. And the awesome thing with cubic is when it sits, it actually sits down like a real lowrider, and it only raises when it comes back and starts moving. Also on this rig we've got the fantastic SimCube active pedals. Not going to get a better pedal on the market. Couple that with the SimCube Coral. We've given it the whole Porsche livery and the Grid Racing by SimLabs Porsche wheel. So that just ties it all in together. So it's an awesome build. I really love these monitors because of the semicircle. You just look at, you're fully encapsulated. And being ultra wide, yes, they are a little bit narrow, but with the 45 inches, it is taller. It is, I think, about maybe 2 inches higher compared to a 32 monitor. The color that you get out of them is fantastic. Really nice and deep, good blacks, as any OLED should be. That's it, guys. We've got heaps more builds that we're doing at the moment. Our ASR containers arrived, so you'll be seeing them on our website as well. So, till next time.